Hi, Asif. Welcome to this channel, and it's really a pleasure to have you over here. Before talking a little bit about your product, trying to understand the story behind it, let me quickly talk about how I got to know about your product. Basically, I got to see a post on LinkedIn talking about the product specifically, and then you were tagged as a co-founder or a founder rather. And I visited your profile, and when I scrolled through your profile, I got to know a little bit more about the product and kind of was keen or curious to understand a little bit better about the product. But as I also, when I reached you and DM'd you, I also mentioned there's a couple of other use cases that I was kind of curious to know about. If that's okay, Asif, but first of all, thank you for agreeing to have this conversation with me.
No, no, thank you for inviting me. So I'm excited to participate. So just
Absolutely.
fun.
Thank you so much, Asif. Asif, if it's okay if I may ask you before you started or your journey with this particular product, what was your primary interest in terms of your experience, or where you're working, and the primary interest or the background you come from?
Oh, okay, just to let you know, I'm based in the UK. I'm a pharmacist by profession,
So,
and how the Pharmbot AI came about was that as a pharmacist, I've experienced firsthand how much pressure us pharmacists and pharmacies are under, especially in the UK. There's an increasing amount of burden that's been placed on pharmacists, which includes checking many prescriptions, dealing with patient queries, and there's a lot of administrative work that is now involved in our profession. So I was just looking into how this could be improved and make the lives of fellow pharmacists like myself much easier.
absolutely. Asif, when you talk about the kind of difficulties or challenges that a lot of pharmacists in the UK were already facing, right? What were some, if you can just let us know a little bit more about the kind of challenges that these people were, was it like challenge in terms of the kind of workload? Was it challenge in terms of procurement of the drugs that were prescribed, or, transcribing from the prescription that the physicians were giving to the patients?
Okay, at the moment, the main challenge us pharmacists are facing is the increased amount of workload and how many patients we're actually seeing on a daily basis.
Got it.
Uh, yep, on average, we could be dispensing up to maybe, depending on the size of the pharmacy, sometimes up to 500 prescription items in a day. Yeah,
That's
that's
in a
just
day.
in a day. That's just
Okay.
dispensing, but that's in addition to all the additional duties as pharmacists do, which is patient consultations, dealing
Hmm.
with queries, dealing with the regulatory aspects of running the pharmacy, uh, also the management of the pharmacy. So it's a lot of work for us pharmacists to be doing. So
Got it.
that was the main issue,
Got
and
it.
I was looking into ways how this could be improved and make my life much easier. And
Absolutely.
what I really want to do is what we don't want as pharmacists be burdened at the back doing a lot of the administrative work. Where we really want to do is concentrate on working one to one with patients.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, Asif, before we start talking a little bit more about the nuances of the use case of the product itself, I would also quickly try and understand what is the scenario of ordering prescribed drugs online through applications, mobile applications, or website out there in the UK. Like, is that a growing trend amongst patients to order, prescribed medicines online rather than coming to physical stores?
At the moment, uh, there's been an increase in online pharmacies in the UK,
Okay.
which has resulted in lots of traditional pharmacies closing down. Right.
Okay.
So now the rise of online prescriptions is increasing, and also it's become extremely difficult in some places in the UK
Mm-hmm.
for patients to get an appointment with their GP.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they could be waiting weeks, and so which has what has happened now is that because they can't afford to wait for so long, that
Yeah.
they're going. privately, and you get private prescriptions, and this is mostly done through online consultations and
Got it.
leasing online prescriptions.
Got it. Makes sense. Now, Asif, let's quickly talk a little bit about the product, right? So, you mentioned that there were a couple of challenges that, not just you, but people, other pharmacists across the UK was kind of facing, and you identified these problems and you thought of the product which would supposedly, at least address these problems and hopefully solve and optimize a lot of these processes. But tell us a little bit about when we are talking about a product, right? A product like Pharmbot. There's two aspects of it. One of the aspects is basically the domain knowledge, which you bring into the picture, right? Then there's the
Yes.
technical aspect of it, of curating and building the application. Now, is that a process you outsourced to a different team who helped you with the technical part of developing the mobile application?
Okay. At the moment, uh, behind Farmbot, I would class myself as the visionary, one who's got uh, the vision, the goal, the idea of what I would like
Got
to
it.
achieve. And behind me, I do have a technical team which will help me build the products.
Absolutely. Got it. And
If you ask me, am I an AI expert? Uh, no, I'm not, but I do have experts behind me, guiding me
absolutely.
and supporting me on my journey.
Got it, Asu. In any case, that's how businesses do run, right? We have people with different experience and expertise on the team, and they take care of different aspects of a particular business, and that's how we keep the wheel running. So absolutely makes sense when you say that. I also noticed that the product you mentioned about AI and the domain extension is also Pharmbot.ai. So are there very deliberate AI inclusions that has been made in the product? Or would you say it's not so AI heavy at this moment, but that's something that you have in the roadmap for future inclusions?
Okay, but to be honest, at the moment, for one of our projects called IVA, we're using large language models such
Yeah.
as like GPT and DeepSeek, right? But our long-term goal is to train and deploy our own pharmacy specialist LLM, which
Hmm.
will fine-tune to UK pharmacy practice and regulations.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. But for the particular LLM that you're talking about, I understand it's being trained on a lot of data in accordance to the UK laws and maybe also GDPR, etc. But
Yes.
if we talk about the roadmap, would you say that the product has arrived as a visionary, like you rightfully called out? Would you say that the product has arrived where your vision goes, or would you say it's at a phase one? And of course, with more expanding capabilities, it's gonna
Okay.
have more inclusions than that.
Okay. What I do, the best way to describe it is that I am working on a big jigsaw puzzle, right? I,
Sure.
I can see the big picture,
Right.
and I'm building one piece at a time for me to complete the whole picture.
True.
Now, the Pharmbot AI, the aim of that is that I want to completely revolutionize and disrupt the pharmacy and the profession, and I have to do that step by step. Uh, Two things I've created, bearing in mind that Pharmbot AI was just an idea I had
Hmm.
uh, 14 months ago, so it's still but, quite new.
Absolutely.
But in that short amount of time, what I've managed to develop is, first of all, an AI prescription verification service. Basically, what that is that sometimes when I work in a pharmacy, I would get maybe 400 or 500 prescriptions. I need to check for clinical accuracy to make sure that they are appropriate for the patient.
True.
And that can take a good few hours to do. Bear in mind, that's in addition to all the other duties which I'll be doing. So I'll be in between while I'm checking the prescriptions, I'll be dealing with patient queries, uh, 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 checking dispense items, answering the telephone. So many things, right?
Absolutely.
So what my prescription verification service does is that it checks it all in a matter of, I'd say, between 10 to 15 seconds. So you can imagine how much time that saves me for me to do some more important tasks. Right? So
Absolutely.
that's the one set up, and the second one of what I've set up is called basically it's a virtual pharmacist called
So,
Iva,
okay.
and what that this is the first version which I've set up, and basically what that is just a, a virtual pharmacist, right? The first version is for the pharmacist and the pharmacy team. So any questions that need to be asked about specific medicines, side effects, any pharmacist related question, it'll answer
Sure.
for you. Yeah. All right. So that at the moment was I launched a few weeks ago. It's
Okay.
currently being tested in a number of pharmacies, right? And hopefully I'm planning to roll this out to more pharmacies within the next, I'd say the next month or so. But
Sure.
that is only the first version. The
Hmm.
second one, a version of IVA, will be patient focused. So it'll be available to patients when they want to come in, which is rather than speaking to the pharmacist, they can speak to the AI virtual pharmacist,
Got
and
it.
it'll be
Okay.
able to answer all the specific questions. But following on from that is that uh, we are looking into robotics as well. So
Hmm.
my long-term
Okay.
goal is to develop an AI virtual robotic pharmacist. And to be honest, that's not too far off anyway. But if you look at, for example, in China,
Right.
they a few months ago they opened the first AI hospital, so you can see where things are progressing. It's only just uh, what I've found is that the UK at the moment is
Hmm.
just lagging behind the rest of the world when it comes to AI and technology.
Okay. So would you say in the healthcare domain, like you talk about China, right? They're deploying AI solutions and robotics and automation to automate or at least take care of a lot of frontline healthcare concerns and patient managing and patient queries, etc. So is that a gap which still exists in the UK as of now?
Uh, at the moment, uh, I wouldn't say that's a gap, but it's an added something that
Got it.
can be
Yeah,
in addition to what as pharmacists
of
are offering.
course. Of
And
course.
and, uh, and what it will allow us pharmacists to do is be able to deal with a lot more patients. Now I'll be honest. For example, right? Sometimes when I'm working in a pharmacy, I'm busy in the back, and someone will call me, look, someone would like to speak to you, and I'll leave whatever I'm doing to
Right.
come speak to the patient. And it could even ask me like a simple question like, what can I take for, I've got a headache, what can I take? And that's
Right.
the most basic uh, question, but which is fine, but it's taking me away from what I was doing. So AI will deal with a lot of this.
Absolutely.
Give me,
One other question. Yeah.
okay, okay, that's fine. Okay.
So, Asif, I was also curious. The phase one of the product, right? If I understand this correctly, they are targeted more for the pharmacists. Like the pharmacist would be the end users of the particular product we are creating. At a later phase, it will also be the patients who will be directly conversing. For example, you talked about Ava. They can directly ask questions and get their questions resolved. And maybe at a phase three or phase four, they can also start ordering their medicines, in consultation with the agentic, version that we are creating. Would that is that how the roadmap looks for the product?
But yes, it is. But it's a lot more than that as well. It
Okay.
won't be a case of just ordering prescriptions. The AI will also say, for example, right? Uh, I personally only take uh, one medicine for my stomach acid, right?
Yeah,
And even that's one medicine. Even I forget to take it sometimes, right? What this AI
absolutely.
can do, it'll be able to give real time notifications to
Hmm.
patients when
Hmm.
and how to take the medicines. So, say for example, you got a patient who's on maybe eight, nine different types of medicines. Long
Right,
as they want to participate, the AI will give them real-time notifications that look, now's the time to take this
right,
medicine,
right.
right? So that's one of the things that uh, I'm hoping to build in within Farmbot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and I'm just curious, Asif, when you mentioned that. Do you envision that at some point in time in the future, this product or this application will also seamlessly marry into healthcare applications like Apple Health, for example, and work with the health data that the that has been received for the patient. For example, if the vitals are fluctuating, maybe the application or the product will basically alert the particular patient or suggest the first level of remedy.
Okay, it will do because what I'm hoping to do is that
Okay.
once I develop my own LLM, right?
Hmm.
Once patients are involved and participating in
Mm,
Farmbot,
mm,
that my Farmbot will get to know the patient, so they'll get to know what medicines they're taking, uh, get to know what their blood pressure is, what the
right.
sugar levels are, right? And be able to offer real time notifications about the health, no, the lifestyle, uh, uh, and about the general health.
Got it. Got it. Absolutely. No, that makes sense. Asi. Now we will shift the conversation slightly towards the other aspect of it. Now we have a fantastic product, right? You have a vision. The initial part of the product has already been deployed or developed, and like you mentioned, as I understand, there's a beta group of people, pharmacists primarily, who are testing this out, possibly giving
Yeah.
feedback as well. Now, once we this is in production. There would be two aspects that would be important. One would be letting people know about it, letting more and more pharmacists know about it. The other would be having a pricing or a subscription model into the picture where people can start, after they have done maybe use a freemium version for a couple of weeks or a month, etc. They know this is a good product that's, making life easy for them. They can subscribe to it and the product can start generating revenue, which can, again, help with the growth of the business and also add more features to the product at a later point in time. So, how does the plan for again at a broad level of it? How does the marketing plan? How do you plan to reach out to or get the news out to more and more pharmacists, people who are not within your immediate locality?
Okay. A number of ways that uh, considering Farmbot was just an idea just about 40 months ago.
Sure.
In the past 6 months, it's already been nominated for four different awards, right?
Well,
Uh,
that's fantastic.
one,
I said congratulations.
yeah, one but was for me as Healthcare Innovator of the Year.
Mm. Okay.
The second was for Healthcare Technology Provider of the Year.
Okay.
The third, New Startup Business of the Year.
Okay.
And the fourth one, which I just found out a few days ago, is uh, Pharmacist Innovation Award of the Year. Right. So that's one way I'm getting the news out. Right.
Absolutely.
So even though I've not won any yet, but even to be nominated at such an early stage just
100%.
shows the potential and of my of Farmbot. So that's
Absolutely.
one way. Secondly, I'm quite active on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
So I'm updating everything which I have done and what I'm hoping to do. Thirdly, I do attend a lot of conferences, meet a lot of pharmacist owners,
Got
right?
it.
So I'm always talking about my product, giving out leaflets, and and even just sending out like regular mail shots to pharmacy owners about what I'm doing.
So,
Regards
so
to
these are a list of your subscribers who are receiving the emails regularly from you?
but yes, yes and no. Sometimes I do just send out an occasional
Absolutely.
email. Yeah, yeah. So
So, sure.
do that quite a lot. How I'm planning to sell either, especially the first version pharmacist.
Mm,
It will be through a SaaS model. I'm looking to offer for the first 4 weeks, you know, for farms to be able to use either at no cost.
absolutely.
That's the plan. And
So,
to be honest, I'm still trying to work it out. Maybe offer either the most basic model just for free and just for the extra services which I'm going to build into it.
mhm,
Maybe I will
makes sense.
a fee to that.
Makes sense. So for the more premium features, that would be something which will be based out of pricing plan, and a lot of basic features will, which are good to have features, great features, but that will include into a premium plan that users can, use,
Because
start getting value out of it.
yeah, I agree. Because like I said, the IVA which I've released at the moment, which I'm
Mm,
testing, is only the first version. So you can see it's not the finished product.
yeah,
This way I can describe it. It's like when mobile phones first came out, right? They were just the simple. You had your phone. You can text. Maybe a calculator and a simple game. Right? But look at phones now. So it is they're always developing. So that's how I
true.
see my product. So whereas I've at the moment it's the most basic model, but
Absolutely.
it's not the finished
Absolutely.
product.
Absolutely. And from a business side of things, Asif, you are the visionary, right? You're also the founder. But do you also have a co-founder, or are you from a business side of it? You are the sole decision maker and planner for the product?
For Farmbot, I'll be honest, it's just myself that's leading
Sure.
it. Uh, Along the way, I have managed to bring people on board to help and advise me, but the the main person leading it is myself.
Got it. Asif, there's just another thing I quickly want to have a conversation with you about and try to understand. In the journey of having, the idea or the concept, and then, maybe talking to another team or a particular, sourcing it out to another team to develop the application for you. What was the most challenging part? Were there like moments when you felt like it was a bit too much the entire process of creating a product, with the already overwhelming routine and schedule of managing your pharmacy? Along with that, the added challenge of now the new domain, looking into and trying to make sense of all the technological jargons these people are using, and then,
Yeah.
taking care of the product and, maybe sometimes some deadlines missing. Was there somewhere down the line, some frustrations growing on, some challenges, and, that made you pause and think that, is this really something that I want to keep doing, maybe a couple of years down the line?
Uh, the way I looked at it was that when I initially came up with the idea, I sat down. I thought, okay, this is like a big project. How am I going to do it realistically?
Yeah,
And uh, if I kept thinking about it, I would never would have started. So I just had my goal, and I just started off slowly. And I saw myself, like I said, I'm building a jigsaw puzzle.
true.
And what I found is that uh, when you start making an effort, start moving forward, you you do find the right people along the way. Yeah,
Agreed.
if, for example, if I just sat back initially and started to look, how am I going to do this? How am I going to find developers? How I'm going to develop this project? Find pharmacies. Uh, I, I would have never started, but I just started off slowly and just like,
Agreed.
yeah, and you'd be amazed that when you do a little bit every single day,
True.
over time it does add up.
Absolutely. And
Because,
like they call it the
yeah,
compounding effect as well, right?
yeah. There like there's many times when I'm working on this and I think I've done nothing, but then when I look back, even to be honest, even sending out like a simple one email a day, right? You never know where that email might lead to.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. Now, say
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
example, like this, you've contacted me, right? And to me, it's a fantastic opportunity for me, and how did you find me? It's because obviously because I've been uh, promoting myself, putting LinkedIn posts.
So
So yeah,
absolutely. No, totally agree to that one. Asif, you have been very kind to and share your time and your experiences with us. My best wishes for Farmbot and your team will possibly see it sold and a lot of people using it definitely have some value into it. The people who are using it, scaling it up. Before we end our conversation, Asif, just one quick question. If you can share some piece of advice for other people who are from different domains, not technology domains, who are thinking, who have an idea, who are wanting, who want to build up a product, not just for to establish themselves as founders or business people, but to actually really, solve or at least optimize some challenge or difficulty, like you were mentioning for pharmacists in their respective domain. But they're unsure because technology is not their domain. They don't know what the journey looks like, what kind of quotations they're going to receive. What would be one or two pieces of advice that you would share for these people?
the main thing I would say is that uh, if you look at the bigger picture, you won't start because you think it's so. Just have that in mind and just take little steps towards it, right? And that's I think that's the best way. If you do that way, then what you're hoping to achieve doesn't seem as big. But even if you don't get to where you want to go, you will still be doing something positive, and there will definitely some changes that if you will you will make, and you definitely will make a difference in what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. Asif, I can say like this is the difference when I'm having conversations with people like you who are already doing something in contrast to, most other people, because this advice coming from you is not theoretical. It's something that you have already done. It's something that you have experienced. Asif, once again, thank you so much for your time today. It was fantastic having this
No,
conversation. And I really look forward to having another episode where we delve a little deeper into the product and talk about more nuances and use cases and how this is impacting the lives of pharmacists and patients alike.
okay, no, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Asif. It was a pleasure talking to you.
So all done. Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you, Asif.